Hurricane Lee caused major destruction as it made its way through the Caribbean and U.S. in September 2017. The storm affected Mexico, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Turks and Caicos, Puerto Rico, and the U.S., including the South and Central Atlantic coast. The destruction was widespread, with thousands of homes damaged or destroyed, leaving thousands of people homeless or displaced. The storm dropped torrential rains over many areas, causing flash flooding and mudslides that killed many and destroyed roads and other infrastructure. As the storm continued northwards, it weakened and was downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone. Lee still caused destruction in different areas of the U.S., with heavy rainfall and gusty winds damaging homes and properties. The post-tropical cyclone eventually made its way back into the Atlantic Ocean and dissipated into a low-pressure system. While the destruction caused by the storm was devastating, it could have been much worse had Hurricane Lee not weakened. The response organizations and the governments of the affected countries worked tirelessly to provide assistance and aid to their citizens and for areas affected. Some of the countries that were greatly impacted by Hurricane Lee were the Dominican Republic and Haiti, that needed significant aid and recovery, including water, food, and medical supplies, due to the destruction of the storm. Even though the storm has long since passed, areas in Haiti and the Dominican Republic are still feeling the effects of Hurricane Lee. These countries still require assistance as they rebuild their communities and homes. The United States was also severely affected by the storm, with major destruction to the Caribbean islands of Puerto Rico, Turks and Caicos, and other parts of the United States. This destruction included homes, businesses, and other types of infrastructure, together with the devastation of roads, water lines, and power lines. Governmental streamlined aid and emergency support programs were put in place to help the survivors of Hurricane Lee rebuild their lives and communities. Emergency personnel, such as the National Guard, as well as various departments within FEMA, has been assigned to bring help and relief to the affected areas. In the United States, the Mennonite Disaster Services have been working to provide assistance to those affected by the storm. The Red Cross was also involved in providing aid and relief in the aftermath of Hurricane Lee, distributing food, water, and other supplies to those in need. Other organizations such as the Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, and the United Methodist Committee on Relief also provided much-needed resources to those affected. The response to Hurricane Lee was severe and widespread, with extensive cleanup and rebuilding still needed in many areas. U.S. President Donald Trump visited Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands in the wake of the storm and promised to provide help and support to those affected. There were many acts of volunteerism and generosity that contributed to the aid operations and recovery efforts, with many foundations, companies, and individuals coming together to provide relief for Hurricane Lee survivors. The long-term impact of Hurricane Lee was most felt in Puerto Rico and some of the Caribbean islands, where the affected areas are still struggling to rebuild and provide for their people. On some of the islands, It is estimated that it will take years for the islands to recover from the destruction of Hurricane Lee completely. The damages to the infrastructure will require extensive and expensive repairs, including roads, power lines, and water systems.